Zig here with Zig Stitch, and today is Saturday, January 15th, 2022. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad that you are here, spending part of your day or your evening with me. So let's get right into it. I am waiting for a new couch to be delivered. So that is my big excitement. Yeah, so this is the last video you'll see on this old couch. When my folks were visiting over Christmas, we did a little furniture shopping just to look around. I had no intention of buying the couch, which isn't that the way it always goes. I had a couple comments that my couch is getting harder to get out of, and I think just because it's worn down. And so we were in a furniture store and I saw a couch that fit my needs. It is a recliner couch, so I'm super excited about that. It was the floor model and they had a holiday sale going on or something like that, so I saved some money there. And so they're going to take away the old couch and bring me the new one. So that is what I'm waiting on this afternoon. So I'm going to try to get this video in before they arrive. Some things to talk about. Leslie asked me, how do I have time to work and stitch? Which is a great question. And she also asked me if I stitch with a stand. So I'll start with the second question first. I usually use Q-snaps. I hardly ever stitch in hand. The only time I will stitch in hand is if the piece is really, really small and it's easy for me to hold in one hand. Mostly I use Q-snaps. I do have a lovely, beautiful, handmade lap stand from Hearthside Craftworks, which I do have a video on my channel about the stand itself. I haven't used it recently just because it was packed away in storage from when I moved. But I'm getting closer and closer to pulling it back out. But that one I will use for either really large pieces or pieces that maybe I'll bead as I go or something like that. But my preference, even for Hades, actually my preference is Q-snaps. Right now, I can still hold a Q-snap in my hand. I don't have any problems with that, even 11 by 17, which is what I use for my Hades. It's not a problem for me to hold it in my hand. I stitch right here on my couch. I do put my feet up on the coffee table, but that will change once I get my new couch and I have a recliner. How do I work and stitch at the same time? You know, I don't have kids, and so my evenings are usually quite free to do as I please with them. So I'm not, running here and there from sports and activities and all of that. So after work, if I'm commuting home or if I'm working from home right now, that's the other news that came up, that we start classes next week and we will be online for the first 3 weeks of the semester at least. So until February 7th. So we'll see. Hopefully then we'll be able to go back in person. So I'll be working from home for a little bit longer, which is just fine. I'm sorry the lighting keeps going in and out. So hopefully we can bear with it. But yes, so I have my evenings and I rarely go out. The older I get, the less energy I have to go out, especially on a work night. So mostly I can actually work in the evenings or stitch in the evenings. I try to get 3 hours in at a time. My old job, I would wake up at about 5 a.m. to get ready and go because I would start at 6 a.m. or 6:15, somewhere around there. This job, and that was because I chose to mostly. I worked 4 10-hour days. This job, I work 5 days a week, but we only work from 9 to 5. And sometimes, of course, I start earlier and, whatever. But, I can stitch a little bit later. When I was getting up at 5 a.m., I'm not a very good sleeper. This is my point. I never have been, and I'm guessing at almost 45 years old, if I haven't figured it out by now, I might not ever just be a very good sleeper. My parents tell stories of me being not a great sleeper when I was little. And so, I can stitch till 10 or 10:30 on a school night, work night, and it's no problem because I'm not going to sleep then anyway. So I aim for 3 hours an evening. When I was solely working from home, I was able to get 4 hours in. I'm not quite sure how I did that now that I think about it, because I've been working from home now and I can't do that. So I'm not sure how I did that, but yeah, so I use a timer, and anytime I stop to respond to a message or something, I will stop my timer and then go back to it. So I do track it pretty closely. But hopefully that answers your question. I mostly only stitch in the evenings. I rarely stitch during the day unless it's 24 hours of cross stitch weekend or something like that, which is coming up next weekend, which I'll talk about here in a little bit later. So Leslie, I hope that helps answer your question. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm going to pause here and I'm going to try to fix this lighting. Okay, hopefully that is a little bit better. I had to close the window or the curtains. The sun is out, oddly enough for us here in Portland. So I'm not quite sure what to do with it. And it's a little bit later in the day than I normally record because I was out running errands this morning. Okay, so Leslie, I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any additional questions. I did really enjoy reading your stories of, in my last video, I talked a little bit about how I went by Carrie growing up, and I switched over to Carolyn, which is my formal name, when I went away to college. And many of you told me wonderful stories of family members in your family named Carrie, and that was really fun to read. So thank you so much for sharing those stories with me. All right, let's get into Whipco. No, not Whipco. Brringo. Let's take a look at my board here for Brringo. And I have to kind of cover part of it up. But so this is where I'm at. Everything with a purple X through it is finished. I got my first Brringo last night down here. Anything that's green, not without a purple X, has been called but not stitched on. It looks like I forgot to color in. Oh no, there's the one that was called for today, and I'll talk about that in plans. But I'm so far keeping up on it. The only one I'm behind on, which was intentional, is this one here, which is a Whip or New Start that makes you go burr. And for me, this is Christmas dinner. And that's because I was working on my hashtag Garon designer focus, which was Mirabilia, and I was also working on that for Candy of the 614 Stitcher for her birthday start as well. So Candy does have a Flosstube, so please go check her out. She's called the 614 Stitcher. She's wonderful. One of my favorites. All right, so we're doing great with keeping up so far for the most part. So let's get into it. So first up, our whip. We had number 21, which was, why am I confused here? Did I show part of it last week, maybe? I think that's what's confusing me. Let me check my notes real quick. Yes, okay, so last week I showed it for my favorite fabric prompt. Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow is what we're talking about here. I did work on it another day. All right, let's see. Okay, so Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow is my focus for this year by Carriage House Samplings. I plan to do about a block a month, although I'm not worrying about getting a whole block in this month because of Brringo. This is the block I'm on. So I basically got a little bit done over here. So this was for number 21. The prompt was a whip or new start with a house. Hawk Run Hollows have lots of houses. And this is where I got to. This took me 3 whole hours just to do. There's a lot of, like, it's a pattern you can see in the horse. Haven't done his eye yet, but that little chunk took me 3 whole hours to do. So, and there's like 3 more horses in this pattern. So I think this block is going to take me a while. And I don't think it's coming back out this month. So that means that in February, I'm going to aim to finish block number 3 here. So that's what I got done. I mean, this block is almost a full coverage one, so it is a lot. Let's take another look. This is the one I'm working on. So yeah, you can see that house there, which was the prompt, was the house. And I got that little horsey done. So you can see I have all those to do, the fence and the house, and then each of those. So, and of course, February is a shorter month, right? With only 28 days. It's not even a leap year. So it will be interesting to see how that how that goes next month, along with all my other goals and such. So put this back. Okay, next up, the call was number 1, which is a new start from a magazine. So this is one of the few kind of stickler prompts that we stick to, which is requiring that it is from a magazine. Most of the time, even in our regular monthly acrostics and themes, you don't have to stitch from magazines. So, but this one, it was a new start from a magazine. So I am starting, this is from last February 2021, just Cross Stitch magazine. I am finally stitching Lovebirds. This is designed by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I love it. It came out last year. I really wanted to stitch it last year. So I ordered the fabric. This is stitched on 28 count Cabernet by Picture This Plus. I ordered it last January, and it literally just came in right before Christmas. That's how long it took for this fabric to come in because of delays. So this is how far I got. So just kind of working on the edge. It's all white stitches. From a distance, it looks fine. I mean, up close, you know, some of them aren't great, but it's fine. I am railroading these stitches. At least the top leg I am railroading because it's all white. And I'm just using whatever's called for Blanc. DMC Blanc. So it is white stitches. You know, it's good. It's good practice for me to really pay attention to how my stitches look. And so railroading, if you don't know, is where you put the needle with the thread in between the two strands, and it helps it lay a little neater and flatter. I don't normally railroad my stitches, but for this one, I thought I would. And again, this is what it will look like, and I'm just right over here on this side. So I've got a ways to go, but this one is officially started, and I'm really happy about that. And this is in this bag from, I just want to show you, it's Grandma's Treasures on Etsy, Grandma's Treasure Shop. Dawn, she's wonderful. I bought a few bags from her. Look at that fabric. I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. And the inside is like the smaller print. And this is a perfect size to hold this project and the magazine so I can keep it all together. And there you go. So that was number 1, a magazine new start. All right, next up we had we had number 16, a whipper new start with a flower or a tree. So I pulled out this is from Ultimate Cross Stitch Cats and Dogs magazine. This is from volume 21 from 2019. I pulled out Warm Welcome by Joanne Aston. It has flowers. And this one, I spent quite a bit of time frogging. This is just on a 28 count white even weave. I started it last year in 2021 for my birthday. I love all the colors. But I did frog a lot of this area out because I've messed up somewhere. I'm not quite sure. I actually think the mess up might be somewhere here in the blue. I'm not 100% sure. But I did a lot of frogging out of this area and started restitching it. I don't know. Sometimes when I frog out a big area, to me it's almost like I'm frogging all this. I'm still not quite sure where the mess up is 100%. You know, is it just as easy to start over, frog it all out and just start again? But I've resisted. I haven't frogged it all yet. But anyway, you know, there's a lot of color changes, and it's meant to be a little bit fuzzy, you know, like a little pixelated looking, because it's just a background, just a mash of flowers. So I worked on that a little bit. You know, this one was one of those stitching sessions that wasn't quite, it wasn't very relaxing, if I'm being honest. It was a lot of work. I'm still not quite sure where the mess up is yet, but I keep frogging and, you know, it's just hard to make progress on it, I feel like. So that one will come out again, of course, this year. I think my goal on this one is 15 hours for the year. So we'll see it again a few more times. Next up is number 11, a whip or new start with an animal. And so I chose Bayonne cat, which I don't have a picture of what it will look like because it's on a box and I forgot and I left that upstairs. Bayonne cat, this I started with Jan Hicks. Jan Hicks Creates. She has already finished hers. This is where I'm at. My goal is to finish it this year. So I worked in the tail, and then I started working on this house up there. So I finished up the tail, or that part of the tail anyway. Well, I guess the tail is done. And I started going up into the body. And then there's a lot of motifs kind of around the cat, like you see on this side, that has to be carried around, and then there's a bunch down at the bottom. So I felt good to pull this back out. I'm just using the kit fabric that came with the kit, which I think is a 32 count linen of some sort. So that was fun to pull out, and we'll see her again this year. Next up, we have number 23. That is a whip or a new start that is an outdoor activity. And so for mine, I pulled out my oldest whip, which is a Christmas celebration. This is I started this in August 2018. It's by Cross Decor. It will look like this. I am up here in this corner. But I just really love this scene. I bought it on Amazon when I went to go visit my parents, or right before I went to go visit my parents, so that I could just have something to work on. I'm just using all the kit. I think it's DMC in the kit, and it's the kit fabric, which is a 14 count Aida. I worked a lot in this section. I did a little bit up here, but I worked mostly in this section. So that is what I got done. Last year, I only worked on this for like an hour the whole year. My goal on this year, I think, is 15 hours. So I got 3 hours done, so that's good. Make some progress, get some going on, because I do like the picture. This one, because the Aida is pretty stiff, I roll it up and I put it just in one of these bags that I got off of Amazon. And I label it. So I have a few projects that I store like this just because, I don't know. I worried that with the fabric being as stiff as it is that, I don't know, that it will wear down the threads or something if I fold it. I don't know. It might not, but that's my fear. So that is a Christmas celebration, an outdoor activity. Next up, we have number 5, a whip or new start with words. So I pulled out Glory to the Newborn King. And that's what it will look like. Glory to the Newborn King. And you can see it has Glory to the Newborn King. It has the lyrics from the song on here. I, of course, am way up here still. So I finished the wreath and I started on this little hay beneath the manger. But it really doesn't look like much. This is in the Autumn 2020 Stony Creek Cross Stitch Collection magazine. This is what the cover looks like. You can see it's right there. So I pulled this one out, and this I am stitching on a 28 count creme brulee by R&R Reproductions that my friend Robin got for me. So you see I finished, so last time I finished up the wreath. The wreath was not done. So the stitching is done on the wreath, and then you can see I just started on some of the hay down there where the manger is going to go. There's a lot of beads that go on this that I have not put in yet at all. Yeah, lots of beads. So there's beads that go all around this for the berries. There's some bead motifs made entirely out of beads. And I'll do those at the end. But that is where I got. And again, I think my goal on this one this year is something like 15 hours. So we'll see her again. All right. So next up is my smallest whip. Worked on this last night. So this is block number 4 that was called Smallest Whip. My smallest whip is an ornament that I well, no, not an ornament. It's a freebie from the Drawn Thread. I think it's still on. I checked relatively recently, and I think it is still on their website. If you go to the Drawn Thread, it's called First Snow. So it's a tree. Sorry about the lighting. There you can see it. That tree. I'm stitching this on a 28 count Dove Gray. And this is where I got to last night. I had done some of these, again, I only worked on this like an hour. These snowflakes are supposed to be Smyrna crosses. And I had done that at first, but they didn't look very good. You couldn't tell that they were Smyrna crosses. And Cynthia, was it you that said, try doing them with a single strand, which I did try a single strand. And they looked better, but I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with the Smyrna crosses because this is such a tiny, tiny piece. So I did a couple Smyrnas with one strand and it looked fine. And then I just went to crosses, which you can see if I could do a close up, but it goes a lot faster for me too. And so this is probably about half the tree trunk. And so there's more that will go down here. And then there's some birds that go in here, which I haven't stitched yet. But that's where I got. My goal on this year is to finish it. So that will be fun to finish because I really didn't work on it much at all. I don't think I worked on it all last year. Again, this is what it will look like. So you can see I've stitched maybe down to here in the tree. So I still have a lot of it's called the pine stitch, the leaves on the tree. That is what I got done. All right, that is all my whips from this week. So that's fun. It is fun to change them up every single day and pull out some of these projects that have been languishing. I have just a little bit of haul. Well, a little bit more now. I have some haul to share with you, basically. So first up, I went to Michael's last weekend, I think, just to look around, and they still had some of their Christmas stuff for like 70-80% off. I picked up this little ornament. It was originally $2 because I have a little tiny, one of those little reindeer pieces. I can't remember what it's called, but I finished it, and I thought it would look really cute finished on here. So I got that. I got 2 of these. These ended up being like $2 each with the sale. They're little easels because I figured I can either paint over them and attach a piece to it or not paint over them and just attach a piece to them. Because they're just little, I got them mostly for the easel stands, right? Like, sure, it's cute what it says, but I don't even need that part. My stash fell down. So I was happy to get those on kind of a clearance, and then I can, it doesn't even have to be Christmas, right? Like if I cover it up with something else, just find a little piece and just stand it up somewhere. So I picked up these. Total, this was like $6, maybe, not even. So I thought that was a good deal. So check your Michaels if they still have Christmas stuff. I was just at Joann's this morning. They still have a lot of Christmas stuff for 70% off. So if you're still looking for some stuff, go ahead and check them out. I got something on a D-stash. This is by Butternut Road. I don't know what this one is called, though. Catch the Wind, it's called. I thought that was really pretty. Someone I saw was stitching this recently, and I can't remember who. But this is by Butternut Road, and I got it on one of the D-stash pages because I just think it's really cute. And then I placed an order from Kanicki's. I'm not really a prim stitcher, but some of these I thought were really, really pretty. This one is called Just Have Yourself a Merry Little Winter. I thought that was really cute. This one is called Warm Winter Wishes. I thought that was really pretty. You see a theme of what I like. This one is called Winter Solstice. I thought that was pretty. And it says, winter's calm, winter's white. Snow covers the earth in the solstice night. So I got that from Kanecki's. Okay, my furniture delivery is going to be here soon, so I need to hurry up and go. Okay, so then I ordered some items from Garon Stitchery. I added a couple more to my cottage garden samplings. This is a Time for All Seasons series, so I got the basket full of love, and I got the first signs of spring. Also from Garon, I got the thread, the Krynic for the Glendon Place Sleepy Hollow. I have the chart already. In fact, I bought it twice by accident. I might be starting this for the Garon Designer Focus, which I don't think Glendon Place isn't till like September, I think. So I have a ways, but I saw that they had the thread pack, so I just got that. And then I got this Glendon Place chart called New Snow. I might already have this too. So if I do, I'll just do a giveaway for it. But I thought that was really pretty. So I got that from Garon as well. Okay, so that's the haul. And now real quickly, plans. We're just going to continue on with Brringo. That's basically my plans. 24 hours of cross stitch is next weekend. So I am going to participate. Normally what I do is I can get about 18 hours in. That's kind of my max. But that works out really nicely because I'm doing 3 hours a day for Brringo. So 3 hours on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's 9 hours. And then the other 9 hours, I'm going to work on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow as one of my Whipgo pieces. So trying to get some Whipgo hours in. And I think this is maybe on my Brringo board once or twice. We're coming up to the last 10 days, so it might be called anyway next week. I mean, there's pretty good chances. We have 10 days left, and in the next 7 days, it will perhaps come out again. So let's see where I'm at. Because I don't think oh yes, okay. So I have the first 2 blocks done. So during, my goal for Whipco is just 12 hours. So if I can do 9 hours next weekend during 24 hours of cross stitch, then I only have like a day to have to make up either later in the month or next month if I have to make it up. So I am getting ready to start block 3, which will be this one. My goal for the whole year is to finish blocks 3 and 4. But it's on my Whipgo board 4 times. So we will see how far we get. So that is my plans for next week. So I have to go pick all this up and move things around so that we can get access to my couch. And I will check in with you later. Thank you so much for watching. I'll try to put a clip in of my new couch and at the end here. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.